What is your American dream?
My American dream is just to be really happy and achieve whatever it is I've set out to achieve. I had a dream of coming to New York and I'm here now, and for me it's just achieving those dreams and having this sense of freedom and happiness that I did this.
My American dream is connecting with my family and my friends and just being a part of that and enjoying every moment as it comes.
This is my dream. I'm a happy woman in America, in New York. So, vive l'Amérique!
My American dream, personally, to continue doing what I'm doing for as long as I want to, as long as possible, in a way that I feel liberated and where I bring joy to other people.
My American dream, we just want to go out, keep that German work ethic, do as best as we can, contribute to society as much as possible and pass that on to our kids.
I'm living it. I'm very blessed to be doing what I do. I'm a singer. I have my own record. I have my music out. I feel very blessed to be here on the East River playing with this great band and living my dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Bradshaw Live. It is live. My name is Brad. It is Wednesday, November 18th. I'm back in the captain's chair, in the studio, right where I belong. It's just not the same at my dining room table. So we came back to the studio. I have Julian, the TriCaster guy. 1 second. I don't have you guys yet. I'm gonna get you guys in a second. I just gotta say, I got Julian, the TriCaster guy. He is, like when somebody in the squad is double fisting with a foot. He is double fisting with a foot today. He is alone in the control room, because we usually have at least 3 people in the control room, doing Bradshaw Live in the back, pressing all the knobs and the buttons. He's doing it with 2 hands and a foot right now. So,
oh my goodness.
So if all of a sudden, we go to a live shot of Fifth Avenue and, with somebody else, it's just because it's his foot screwed up somewhere. Yo, and Vanessa!
Well, I believe in Sir Julian.
Welcome.
I believe
you believe in him. All right.
I definitely believe in him.
He's got 2 hours to prove that his 2 hands and a foot can do the whole job.
Easy.
I feel like he's using his nose as well.
Yo, you have one job to do, and that's just talking to your microphone. Okay?
I'm talking into it. You can't hear?
No, I don't hear you. Vanessa, can you? I don't believe it. Vanessa, can you talk into your microphone?
Yeah, I'm here. Testing 1 2. Testing.
What the hell?
So you don't hear me?
Now I do.
There it is. That's better.
Now we do. But in the beginning, no, you were underwater in the beginning.
Oh gosh.
Sometimes when we overlap, sometimes when we speak at the same time, it sounds a little. So there's that part.
We're all wearing black. At least.
Yeah, I like that.
We're all matching.
Well, yeah, because you finally you shared the memo with me. There's a memo I found out last week, by the way. The "What are you wearing" memo that goes around, and I'm left off of it.
Oh.
So I spoke to Jillian. I'm like, can you do me a favor? I know I'm left off the email chain with the "What are you wearing?" But when you get it, can you just forward it to me? And that way, at least I can. So she's been forwarding me the memo lately. So that's why, that's why we're all.
I like the days when your pocket square doesn't match us. I like the days your pocket square doesn't match us. What makes you, Brad?
Let's say hello to the squad, though. Squad up to Marge Higgs saying, hey. Christy Consali saying hello as well. Yo in the comments. Christy Consali saying hello to everybody. Hello back. Latoya His Forever Peterson. Squad Up family. Dion Reed, how are you? Dawn Harriet. By the way, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, just a quick weather report outside. How freaking cold is it in New York today?
Freezing.
Freezing, right?
I'm wearing 2 pants.
Oh my
I'm
God.
layered.
I want you to know something. Remember last week when I was sweating in the studio because it was so hot and the air conditioner? I'm like, I long for
Not
those
today.
days now. Not today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a sweater. I got all the lights on and I'm freezing right now, you know?
Yeah, it was like 30 degrees out.
I don't know what it
30
was.
with the wind.
I don't know what it was, but it was cold. That's all I can tell you. The weather was
It
cold.
That's for sure.
Elizabeth Francis says, wow, welcome back. How are you? My Dukes, what's going on? Ron J. Roberts says, it's about that time. It is about that time. Jessica Leamy, she shared the video with me, so I know we were live. That's her job. Also, her job is to be have a lot of cute comments.
so good at
in
her
me.
job.
She's good at, she has 2 really good jobs. You know, one job is to share the video with me so I know we're live. And 2, to make cute comments in the comment section, right? Elizabeth Francis, Squad Up, how are you? Carol Anderson the Tiger, what's going on? Paulette Bryce Cameron, wow, with a pre-comment of the day, if I may. Squad Up family, the big man Brad and team, come and get your immigration questions answered from the immigration lawyer in the world. I guess he wanted to say the best or the greatest. He left off an adjective. He left off an adjective, but I will add it for him. I assume that's what he meant.
No, I see it.
Yeah, but he just said answered from the immigration lawyer in the world. I guess or maybe he doesn't like us, or maybe she doesn't like us, and maybe it's the worst immigration. I don't know.
Brad, I see Squad Up family people. Brad, Ness-Quick, and Yo-Yo is in the house. Get your immigration questions answered from the best immigration lawyer in the world. That's what I see.
I see a different comment. Maybe she corrected it.
Nope.
Dawn Harriet.
Well, it's a good day to be great.
1 second.
Right.
One second.
I see the right one, Brad, so it's all good.
Okay, you see the right one. Okay. But Dawn Harriet, she wants to know what's on my face.
What's on
Hair.
your face?
This?
Oh, you're.
This is my.
Scruffy Brad.
I'm sorry. You
I
like
don't mind
Scruffy Brad?
either.
Yeah, I don't mind
Yeah,
Scruffy Brad.
I don't mind it.
Your face.
Yeah, it's my.
I don't mind it either.
It's my Corona deflector. You know, people like to call it. People like to call it scruff. In 2020, it's called the Corona deflector.
Okay.
Yo-Yo's got a Corona deflector too going.
I definitely do. That's what I say, yo.
Gabby Taylor saying, welcome back. Beverly Thompson, how are you? Wendy Green, Squad Up. Stargirl Mika. Lots of comments today, guys. Let's go over to YouTube. Ja Love, Squad Up. Ira Lama. Don't you love that name?
Yes.
Ira Lama? Where am I? I'm on YouTube now. What do you mean, where am I?
You didn't say where are you?
I thought you asked me, where am I? I'm like, I'm looking at YouTube now. What do you mean, where am I? What'd you say?
Yeah, let's go on YouTube. That's my favorite.
Maybe I missed what you said. Okay. And Q. Hello, Brad. How are you? Samantha Smith, hello. Steve Robinson. I think this is going to be a silly show. I already feel it.
Right.
Steve
I could already feel it.
How are you? Essa Group saying hi. And Blaze Mbai also. All right, guys. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing?
Absolutely. All right, guys. First things first, I need everybody on all social media sites to please join the Facebook squad. This is the VIP squad on Facebook. All you have to do is put Brad Squad on the search engine in Facebook, and then you will see it. So it's not the page that you're actually watching the video on right now. It's a whole different video, okay? We're going to be doing a lot of different things. We're going to throw some content on there that we're not going to throw on other social media sites. But the most important thing is you guys can throw in your questions anytime throughout the day, all right? And then we'll ask the first 5 before any of the questions and for social media check-in, okay? Now, Sharing is caring. Everybody on Facebook, I need you all to get together and share. Not only share, but I want you guys to please go and start motivating each other like you guys used to do. I remember back in the day, y'all used to be like, all right, guys, we need to start sharing again. Like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, just remind each other, share, 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 because this is the only way the show can get out to everybody. Once we hit the limit of people that already know about the show, that's it. If nobody else knows about the show, that means we get no calls. That means we get no questions, meaning no Brad Show Live. So the only way to get this show going and to keep it going is if you guys share. All right, now throw in all your comments and all your questions in the comment section right now. Of course, we love the interaction. Like I said, this is the beginning of the show, so it's the best time to throw in your questions. But the only way you can get a guaranteed answer is if you join the VIP Facebook page. All right, now, Ness-Quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
Okay, squad. First and foremost, I've missed you guys, and I've missed you guys giving us those thumbs up on YouTube. But first things first is that you should be subscribed to our channel. Make sure that you turn on the notification bell so you know when Brad Show is live, whether it's a pop-up show or whether the whole team is together like we are today. We need you guys to make sure you subscribe, but most importantly, click that notification bell so you know when we're live. You also see, just like Yo-Yo was asking you guys on Facebook, there is an arrow below. Share, share, share. So right now you can click that arrow. It'll have you copy the link where you can send it in a text message, send it in a group chat, send it everywhere pretty much. There's so many people that still don't know about Brad Show Live, and you guys that do know all the knowledge and all the value that Brad brings to us here every single day, day in and day out. So we want to help as many people as we can, and by you sharing the show, we'll get the squad bigger and bigger, and we'll be able to help more people. So share right now. Let people know that they can call in and get answers to their immigration questions, because we all know someone that could use some help with that. In the meantime, leave your comments in the comment section. I'm in there on YouTube interacting with you guys, and the squad is in the back collecting those questions for social media check-in. So make sure that you share your thoughts in the comments. And most importantly, my favorite part, give us that thumbs up. I'm taking a look right now, and there's a lot more of y'all watching than there are of you guys liking this. So give us that thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that we here at Brad Show Live are doing great work, and that we need to get this out there more and more. So the more thumbs up we get, the more we can share this show, the more people learn about it, and the more people we can help. And that's all we want to do here on Brad Show Live. So make sure that you share this right now, leave your comments, and give us those thumbs up. Also, if you can't catch a full show, you can catch the best snippets of our show on Instagram at Brad Show Live. Make sure that you're following us there, where we do share great contests every now and again. There's great snippets of the show, and you can also ask your immigration questions to us there through direct message, and someone from the squad will get to it either throughout the day or on social media check-in. So follow us, Brad Show Live, on Instagram. So if you cannot catch a full show, you can share it with a friend there too. Help us, help you, and help more people. So follow us there. And something that I always forget to mention is that we also are on Twitter. So follow us at Twitter, Brad Show Live, and you can share your thoughts and your comments there as well. We're always looking out for it. But now that we have the whole team together, let's get into some schmoozing with Brad.
All right, guys. It's not the same schmoozing without you guys. You know, because schmoozing is like talking amongst ourselves.
Right.
You know, and then
right.
When, when I'm home at the dining room table, I'm just talking to myself. It's really, we should call it Brad talking to himself. He's not really schmoozing. Although everybody's listening out there, but it's
with the squad, yeah.
But it's much better with you guys. Meanwhile, just a quick update from immigration. Throughout the entire United States of America, if you have a deportation hearing scheduled between now and December 4th, 2020, doesn't matter where you are, Alaska, California, Oregon, Illinois, Texas, Louisiana, Miami, New York, Maine, it will be rescheduled. The only deportation cases that are going to be ongoing are those with people who are detained in jail. If you are not detained in jail and you have a deportation case that is scheduled between now and December 4th, anywhere in the United States of America, it is going to be rescheduled as a result of coronavirus. This is deportation cases only. These are not adjustment interviews. These are not citizenship cases. But this is just deportation. And of course, we will keep you updated. Keep watching every week. We'll let you know what's going on with that. Meanwhile, over the weekend, a federal judge, guys, invalidated restrictions on the Obama DACA program that Donald Trump tried to end. If you remember, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, Obama did the DACA program. If you were under 16, you came here before June 2007, and you were under 30 years old when in June of 2000, and you were here for 5 years, and you graduated high school, you get the DACA.
Yes.
And then Trump tried to end it. And then the Supreme Court said, can't end it because you have to have a reason to end it. You can't just end it because you feel like it. So then it continued. But Donald Trump said, okay, it's going to continue, even though I had no reason to end it. But no one can apply. If you had not been in the program already, you can't apply. Well, now a federal judge has ruled that invalid as of this weekend. So if you have not applied for DACA ever in your life, but you actually qualify, presumably you should be able to do it now. We'll see if Department of Homeland Security, if the Department of Homeland Security will appeal it. And the reason is this, because the head of the Department of Homeland Security right now has not been voted on by the United States Senate. Usually when you make a cabinet member, usually by law, you make a cabinet member, whether it's the State Department, Department of Homeland Security, the Justice Department, it has to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate. The U.S. Senate has never confirmed the person who is in charge of the Department of Homeland Security. Trump just put him in there under a temporary title and said that he will bring him for confirmation before the Senate, but never did. So what the federal judge said was everything he does is illegal because he's acting illegally. So all of his rules, all of the regulations, presumably, that the Department of Homeland Security has put out to hurt immigrants in the last year, presumably now can be overturned because it was illegal, including this DACA rule. We'll see if, I'm sure they're going to appeal. We'll see what happens with that. Meanwhile, citizenship is about to get harder as of December 1st, 2020. Previously, when you would go for your citizenship interview, you would get asked, they wouldn't answer any of your questions. You would get asked 10 immigration questions. This is not speed round. What am I talking about today? You would get asked 10 citizenship questions on government and civics history. You would have to get 6 right. They would give you 100 questions to study. You don't know which out of those 100 questions you're going to be asked, but you know you're going to be asked 10. You got to get 6 right. Now, as of December 1st, the citizenship test will be taking questions from 128 questions. So now you will have to study 128 questions, not 100 questions. And you will be asked 20 of them, not 10 of them. And you now have to get 12 out of 20 right. You still have to get 60%. But now it is the citizenship test as of December 1st, instead of 6 out of 10, it's now 12 out of 20. And you now have to study 128 I keep calling it immigration questions. What's wrong with me? 128 government and civics questions. And out of those, you're going to be asked 20.
What do you think led to this, Brad?
Because they are trying to stop people who have perhaps less of an education, or perhaps people whose English is not their first language from becoming U.S. citizens. Why? Because people in that situation, minorities, are less likely to vote Republican. They want to make less Democratic voters and more Republican voters. And generally speaking, immigrants in totality, whether you're a minority, whether you're educated, less educated, it really doesn't matter. as a group, immigrants are going to vote Democrat over Republican. So I think, in combination, they're just trying to make less Democrats and keep a Republican majority. That's the only reason behind it.
So, Brad, Don Harriet is asking, do you think that Biden would change this?
Maybe. I think he's going to change the DACA rules.
Okay.
So, for example, right now, DACA recipients can't travel on advanced parole. I think you'll be able to. I think DACA recipients who travel on advanced parole after August of 2020 are not eligible to adjust if they get married. I think that will change. I think he will allow, even if the Department of Homeland Security appeals this decision by a judge and says, no, we're not going to accept new DACA applicants, I think they're going to accept new DACA applicants. In terms of the citizenship questions, I don't know as much about that. I don't know what Biden's position is on that, so I can't tell you.
Right.
I would hope he would.
Right.
I would hope he would, but I have not read anything or heard him say anything about citizenship questions. I don't think, the citizenship test is number one thing that he is coming out to the news to talk about. But we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. I know he said he's going to reverse a lot of the DACA, and that he is also in the
that's good.
And also in the first 100 days is going to introduce legislation to make DACA recipients eligible for green cards in some respect. So we'll see.
Wow, nice.
We'll see what he says there as well. Meanwhile, are you watching the crybaby in the White House, or you don't even bother listening to him anymore?
Oh no, I definitely don't.
I haven't been keeping up.
Right, because he's I can't even call him Pumpkin anymore.
Kardashian.
We just call him Crybaby now.
Crybaby.
He's
That's
just Crybaby.
Honestly all it is.
It's just he's
like
Crybaby
I did
now.
see some. I saw something about him still going, after Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, and he's still claiming that he's winning or he's gonna win. So I don't even want that stress.
Well,
even if I know it's not true.
I'm more concerned about what we're going to call him than whether or not, that's my big priority now is like, what's my nickname for Donald Trump moving forward? His hair went from
Crybaby.
It's Crybaby now because his hair went from orange to gray. I don't know if you noticed in the last week, he does not have orange hair anymore.
Really?
And he has not had his permatan. I think he's been crying in the White House, literally, and has not gotten to his barber to get his hair colored and has not gone to the tanning salon. He's all gray now. Just all of a sudden, exactly, Julian.
Oh, wow.
Better like that.
All of a sudden, he went from orange pumpkin to gray dude.
Wow.
Overnight. I don't know if you noticed that or not. So I think now,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I think now we can't call him Pumpkin anymore. I was thinking about this. I'm like, he ain't Pumpkin no more. He's Crybaby
Sore
now.
loser.
Yeah.
Sore loser, Crybaby. Wah,
Sore
wah.
loser, Crybaby.
Wah,
Wah,
wah. Wah.
So let's talk about wah wah.
Yeah, let's talk about wah wah. So
It's almost like a Terribles 2, but a terrible Trump. You know?
So he's been, the Crybaby, he's been spreading lies to his 90 million Twitter followers. On Sunday, he said that although Biden won the election, he now acknowledges Biden won, it was fixed. And had it not been fixed, he would have won. And now since Biden has won, Trump has sued in Pennsylvania to overturn the election results in Pennsylvania. What he's saying was, this is his argument. The Republicans who were supposed to watch people count the votes were told to stay 13 feet away, and they couldn't watch really what people were counting. So we think there's irregularities, and we want everything recounted again, and we want to stand on top of somebody when they count the vote.
Oh.
That's going to get thrown out, okay? He also fired Chris Krebs, who was installed by him. He is the Department of Homeland Security official who is in charge of cybersecurity throughout the entire United States of America. And Chris Krebs said, there is absolutely no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes in any state, changed votes, or was in any way compromised. This is his Department of Homeland Security guy, his cybersecurity guy that he hired, saying that nothing happened in the election. So you know what he did?
So he fired him because he told the truth.
Exactly. He fired him. And as a matter of fact,
yeah, he's no good for him.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, Chris Krebs said he was expecting to be fired, but he wanted to come out and tell the truth. And then Twitter flagged when Trump said, "I fired Krebs for lying. The election was rigged." So Krebs is now a liar. Twitter flagged that as a disputed statement.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Meanwhile, in Georgia, they're doing a recount. Trump lost by 14,000 votes. Biden won by 14,000 votes. Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, he's a Republican. Okay, but he's the guy in charge of certifying the vote. And if he does any sort of fraud, this guy's going to jail for 20, 30 years. So he's not going to screw around. He's not going to screw around.
Right.
He has to go by the book. He doesn't want to go to jail for 30 years for Donald Trump. Okay? So even though he's a Republican, we know he's going to follow the law, because if he lies, there's going to be a U.S. attorney somewhere who's going to go after him.
Yeah,
so he said on Monday that Lindsey Graham, who's the senator from Georgia, had hinted that he should try to discard some of the ballots in Georgia where a recount is under the way. He said, and I'm quoting, "It was just an implication of, look hard and see how many ballots can be thrown out."
Wow.
Raffensperger's comments came after he told the Washington Post that Lindsey Graham, he's the senator from Georgia who just won, had cast doubt on Georgia's signature matching law in a conversation, and also floated the possibility that biased poll workers could have counted ballots with inconsistent signatures. Graham is disputing all of that. Now, experts, unless they throw away ballots, because, you're going to count the ballots again, you're going to get the same vote. Okay? You do the same thing twice and don't change anything. That's insanity. All right? So we're going to count all over again, and Biden's going to win by 14,000 unless somehow unless some votes disappear. So that's what Lindsey Graham was trying to do, and of course he says, "No, I wasn't trying to do it."
I definitely don't think it would be smart if he did that, because I mean, like, the fact that like the whole world, not just even the United States, is looking at Georgia for this recount. Like, there's so much of the media that's like covering that. Now, if Trump ends up winning after they recounted that, from 14,000 votes to now, for losing from 14,000 votes to now winning winning by however many, people are going to know that is rigged. So like that literally would be career suicide.
Well, let me say this, okay? This weekend, okay, Trump wanted to put on a million MAGA march, Make America Great Again in Washington. 1 million people to come to Washington. To come to Washington to say that this election was rigged. Okay?
Wow.
You know how many people showed up?
How many?
Couple thousand.
He actually had one?
Yeah. So he had a couple thousand people show up. It was supposed to be, look, these are the group. This is the group. This is the group that came. Okay? The Proud Boys, the Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, some other wonderful people, I'm sure.
And by
the way, I'm sure there were some good, decent people in that group too, as Donald Trump would say, right? You remember that's what he said about Charlottesville, right?
Actually were agreeing.
Yeah, he said, "Oh yeah, there's some good, decent people in that group too." Who the hell knows? I doubt it. So, any event, a couple thousand people showed up, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
That's hilarious.
Now, if this is for the Million Man March, now can you imagine if all of a sudden 14,000 votes disappear in Georgia? How many millions of people would actually be marching?
Thank you. Disappears.
Oh yeah, that would be the actual Million Man March.
That would be the 10 Million Man March, and the 10 million woman march. That's what it would be.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad for America for sure.
All right, so we're gonna have some competition for Bradshaw Live.
Ooh.
Yeah. Donald Trump, after he leaves office, is going to be starting a talk show and news station only on YouTube and Facebook. He's not going to be on air. Yeah. He wants to wreck Fox He's tired of Fox News, and he is going to start his own Trump station, which I'm sure he will have his own Donald Live show, competing against Brad Live.
This man.
All right, and
This man is hilarious.
All right, it's gonna be Donald, Kellyanne Conway, and Rudy Giuliani versus Brad, Yo-Yo, and Vanessa, all for viewers on YouTube and Facebook.
Yep.
Come on, put them up.
We'll
Put
be
them
here.
up.
Everybody share.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Can you imagine that show? Can you imagine that show? The lies that would come out of that show?
You think we can get under his umbrella? You think he'd hire us?
I don't want. No way.
No association.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Obama came out with a book. I want to buy it when I go away. I'm going away for Christmas vacation. I've decided I'm going to take a vacation. Yeah. So that is the book I am going to buy, and I'm going to read A Promised Land. I want to go to a bookstore and buy it. I mean, I can buy it on Amazon, but Amazon doesn't need my money. Okay, I really want to go. I really want to go to a bookstore and buy it. I just got to find a bookstore that's open. Most bookstores are closed; they went out of business. But I got to find a bookstore that's open. I want to find a local bookstore that's open and buy it and give them my business, because I could easily buy it on Amazon. I just got to figure out where.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad.
So
you're such a good guy.
I try. Now on Monday, Obama's been going on a book tour to promote the book. That's how I know about it, because I've been reading about his book tour. So he said the single biggest threat to our democracy is what, guys? What do you think are the single biggest threat to our democracy is, according to Barack Obama?
Not being united. Something along those lines, wasn't it?
Something, that it is the partisanship in news, meaning that there is not a common narrative within the news of the United States of America.
That's smart.
And
that is very true.
And we've been talking about this for a very long time, although we never really, pinned it down in 3 words, common narrative amongst the news. But the reality is we've been saying this for 4-8 years. I don't think it's Donald Trump. I just think Donald Trump took advantage of it. It's been going on.
Absolutely.
It's been going on before this, which is you watch Fox News, you watch some of these, alt-right news channels, and it is an absolutely different universe, what they're reporting, what's going on in America, than if you watch CNN or MSNBC. It's 2 completely different worlds, which is why we have in America, I believe, what's going on right now between the left and the right, the Democrats and the Republicans.
Yep.
And he said, and I'm going to quote, he said, "I come out of this book very worried about the degree to which we do not have a common baseline of fact and a common story. We don't have a Walter Cronkite describing the tragedy of Kennedy's assassination, but also saying to supporters and detractors alike of the Vietnam War that this is not going the way the generals in the White House are telling us. Without this common narrative, democracy becomes very tough." And as a matter of fact, he said, and I'm quoting him because now he agrees with me, or I agree with him, but I didn't see this quote until just now. He says, "I think Donald Trump is a creature of this, but he did not create it. He may have been the accelerant of it." So we all said this. I didn't even know this quote was going to be here.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, but it preceded him and will outlast him. "I am deeply troubled by how we address this."
This is very true. Because I grew up with my family watching Al Jazeera and BBC and stuff like that, especially Al Jazeera. And I feel like it's such a connection, with the people when you watch that news, because what you're watching is real. And over here you have all these different stations. You literally just pick a station and say, "Hey, I'm a part of this party, so I'm going to only watch this station." It shouldn't be like that. All the stations should be given the same exact story.
Well,
so that's so true.
It happens as a result that before cable news and it was just 3 television stations, ABC, CBS, and NBC. There's a Communications Act. There was a law in the United States of America that said that these stations can't give their own personal opinions. They just have to report the facts as they know them. Once cable news came, they eliminated that law because they said there's so much news that people will be able to decipher opinion from fact. And once news, I'm just telling you what happened. And once news channels were able to give their opinion instead of just give fact, it turned into the rise of Fox. And by the way, MSNBC, they give their opinion too, very liberal opinions. Okay, I'm not saying it's just the right, it's the left also.
Right, absolutely.
You know, I watch things on MSNBC and I say, that ain't right. And I watch things on Fox and I always say, that ain't right.
Right.
I watch things on CNN, for the most part, I say is right, but sometimes I say that ain't right too. But if people just stop giving their opinions, but the reason that they have to give opinion is because you can't just keep repeating the same news every 30 minutes. So they got to, and these companies want to make money. It's all about making money. It's all about making money.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what it is. It's all about the host and their personality and you tuning in because you want to see that host. It's not you tuning in because you just want to see them read the teleprompter.
Yeah. All right, but guys, I have some good news for you.
What's up?
That it's Wednesday?
It's Hump Day Wednesday.
It's
Hump Day Wednesday. And for those people who don't know what Hump Day is, we save our best PG-13 news for Hump Day Wednesday. We used to do R-rated news, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
I'm happy we keep it PG.
We kept it PG-13. Because we started getting it like, wait, is this X-rated or R? We didn't even know where we were getting it. This was before you joined the show, Vanessa. We were getting X, and we're like, wait a second, no, we're a family show here. No, we were not triple X. We were not triple X, but we were getting a little raunchy. So we calmed it down a little bit. It's PG-13 news. It's Hump Day. And by the way, Vanessa, do you agree with this or no? Michael B. Jordan, he was named People's Sexiest Man Alive for 2020. You think he's sexy? He's the man? Is he the man?
I love him. I was going to say, Julian, put my boy on the screen.
Is he the man?
All my ladies in the comments, he's so the man.
He is the man?
So the man.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
This is so much better than Blake Shelton.
Yeah, Blake Shelton, I didn't go for him.
That was like, what? The past couple, John Legend, I think he got it last year. He was pretty cool, but like Michael B. Jordan, this is the one that everybody always is talking about. So I'm down for this. I'm happy that they.
Well, let me tell you what he said. He said it's a cool feeling, everybody always making that joke like, Mike, this is the one thing you're probably not going to get, but it's a good club to be a part of. I'm going to tell you something. His ego's got to be through the roof now, all right?
It has to.
I mean, he was Apollo Creed's son. He's, in Black Panther. Now he's, the sexiest man alive.
The sexiest man alive.
I mean, that guy's ego's got to be huge right now.
It's got to be.
I used to work for a magazine, and at the end of the day, it's just a good story, and you just put it's a good cover. They do it annually, but he really is very sexy.
Meanwhile, you know the naked cowboy in Times Square.
Oh yeah,
He's more like Blake Shelton than Michael B. Jordan.
Yes,
I would say the naked cowboy, right? So he's a famous guy. For those who don't know, he dresses in his underwear. Tourists come, they take pictures of him in his underwear, and I guess he sings too. I've walked past him, but I never really watched him. It's not something I would stop to watch. But apparently people love the naked cowboy. Well, a video posted on social media shows a prankster running up to the naked cowboy and making him try to get naked. He was naked. No. The naked cowboy was naked in Times Square. Finally, the naked cowboy actually became naked. Let's watch this one more time. They de-pantsed him. Did you see that?
I'm here for it.
They pulled his pants down all the way down, and then the guy runs away. The cowboy, his real name is Robert Burke.
Cool.
He was playing.
Yeah, it is. He had a Trump undie on.
He had a Trump underwear on it under? No, he was naked. No, he was naked in Times Square after when the guy pulled his pants down.
Well, he was
playing Country Roads by John Denver when he got depantsed. Now, people around Burke helped the stunt singer up from the street, and he says, it was really aggressive while it was happening in real time. I thought it was a setup or a prank. Then it was clear they were not working together. I just felt bad. The naked cowboy, he was just trying to keep his underwear on. That's the guy who did the video. That's a quote from him. He felt bad for the naked cowboy who was just trying to keep his pants on. But you know what?
I've always wondered how the naked cowboy does his taxes.
What do you mean, how do you do his taxes? Like, what's his
How
job?
does he-
What's his
A
job?
weird
Income.
thing to think about.
What's his job? I'm sure he puts down entertainer, right?
Right. Yeah. Maybe
Hey guys,
Hey,
I just want to say that we're having some comments here. Arch Higgs, grandma saying, how could they not nominate Yo-Yo for the sexiest man alive? Listen, these are questions I want answers to. Don, listen, Don Harriet. Wait, hold on. Don Harriet said we need to vote you in for that too, Yo-Yo. Come on, man.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ness-Quick, can you call People Magazine up and lodge a complaint?
Right.
All right.
I mean, I worked for People in Espanol, but I'm pretty sure I still have some connects that people.
Okay, Julian's yelling in my ear, file a mandamus. You can't file a mandamus for sexiest man, Julian. Come on. Julian's yelling, file a mandamus. Whenever anything else fails, file a mandamus.
File a mandamus.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yo-Yo, you could probably go into Times Square and make some extra dough for Valentine's Day, being the naked Cupid from last year. Do you remember?
That's forfeiting.
I do not have that outfit anymore.
You
don't know where it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you.
No.
I'm sure you have it pressed and ready for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
pressed and ready. Meanwhile, Tiger King, Jeff Lowe. He's starting, he's the guy who stole the I guess the zoo from the real Tiger King in Oklahoma.
Joe.
So he's now starting an OnlyFans page. And he's offering a sex tape starring himself and his wife Lauren in exchange also for a big payout. He wants $300,000 for a sex tape, but you don't want to pay $300,000 for their sex tape. You can go on to OnlyFans, and for $50 a month, you can see pictures of Jeff and his wife.
You have to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
$50 a month?
This is true.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. If people are willing to pay $50 to see these two people naked, I got to raise my consultation fees. I'm not charging enough.
For real.
All right. I am not charging enough. All right. Because I think I'm giving a lot better quality content than Jeff and Lauren naked on OnlyFans.
What? That's wild.
Now, if it was Yo-Yo naked on OnlyFans, maybe
I've
I'd pay
actually
$50.
had a bunch of people ask me if I was going to get an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Questionable. I don't know, man.
Only if Ness-Quick is my manager.
All right. So you guys, by the way, you guys are on TikTok, right?
Yes.
Yo-Yo's definitely on TikTok.
You heard of this TikTok thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's not.
I'm not gonna do the OnlyFans, guys.
Yeah.
Look.
No, don't do OnlyFans.
They're all like, Yo-Yo.
If you did OnlyFans, we would have to ask you to leave the show because we're a PG show. We're a PG show, yo. Don't do OnlyFans. Don't do it. Don't do it. Meanwhile, on TikTok, here's an idea for you, Yo-Yo and Vanessa on TikTok.
Oh God.
Okay, a TikToker is. What do you call it? Is it a TikToker? What do you call that?
Yeah, they're a TikToker.
TikTokers?
One who TikToks.
One who TikToks is a TikToker.
Is a TikToker.
Okay, fine. All right. So a TikToker.
I don't think it's in the Webster's dictionary yet, guys. It's whatever you want.
It's whatever you want. All right. You can call it a TikToker. You're like some dude on TikTok. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
all right.
Whatever.
But in this particular case, it was a woman. Her name was Sid Erin, and she sent her former hookups a Google Doc survey to rate their experience with her, and she then dished on their responses via video upload on TikTok. Now, she has more than 30 million likes and 700,000 followers in 1 year. Erin told Cosmopolitan, "It isn't unlike me to talk about my hookups on the internet. I thought it would be funny, so I kind of just said F it and made the survey." Erin said one of the guys responded by my initial text asking to fill out the survey and said, "No, absolutely not." Then my first video went viral and he stopped me the next day and was like, 10 million views? Thank God I didn't fill mine out. Then there was the former flings who thinks it's funny. A few of them sent me my own videos reacting to their answers and laughing. And of course, others are really salty. One dude even wrote in the additional comments part that he wanted his hoodies back. Erin joked, "Yeah, he's just not getting them back.
Petty.
I appreciate his survey answers." But above just being a funny TikTok trend to chase page viewers and gain followers, Erin realized something important. Almost all the men left the hookup far more satisfied than she did. Interesting.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay,
Interesting.
sis.
So there it is. Okay. She goes, "Unfortunately, I can't relate. It was a huge confidence boost, but it also made me realize that my answers would absolutely not be the same if I were the one filling out the survey. And I deserve to prioritize my own satisfaction over worrying about whether others are." I guess because a man is satisfied when he climaxes. He's
The end of it.
it's the end
And
of
a
it. We're done.
lot of the time,
Right.
the girls are like baking it. So.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Gotta be detailed, gentlemen. Just be detailed.
Yeah.
That's all.
Vanessa, I don't know if you have anything to add to any of this.
I go Sid, man. Go Sid.
Go Sid. All right.
There's a
All right.
reason why
I thought maybe you wanted to give your own personal opinion. Your own personal opinion is go Sid.
Go Sid.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes some bravery for you to go to your past
It does.
hookups and be
Yeah.
like, "Well, let's talk about this." And then she went viral, and it's like, people imagine their friends at that time that know who answered those surveys, and now she's saying that she wasn't even satisfied. You never know. Sometimes girls lie, but it would have been more challenging, gentlemen.
But I thought it was really interesting. But I thought it was really interesting that the men said, "Yeah, she was great," but maybe the men said she was great because they wanted to be on her video, or maybe because she's famous now.
I don't think so, because it's anonymous. They don't know
Right.
who's answering.
Which is
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Would
Yeah,
you?
I think she probably she's a satisfier. So like she's
If anything, this makes me curious. I mean, if I wasn't in a relationship, maybe I would send out a survey, but something like this to get me in some trouble.
I was gonna say, Yo-Yo, do you want to send out a survey? But maybe Yo-Yo come on the show one day crying. He's like, "I read my survey results."
Oh no,
Can you
my
imagine?
survey,
Or your survey results are gonna be like, you're gonna be
10
like,
out of 10. 10 out of 10.
10,
Sexy
10.
set on brush.
Yo-Yo would be like
10,
Michael B.
10,
Jackson today. He'd be like, his ego would be
Right.
Jordan.
I want to call him
B.
Jackson. Jordan. My apologies.
No, definitely. But like, even though I'm kind of like very out there and like, I like to play around on the internet, I don't even think I would do this. This is kind of like, woo,
Yeah.
I don't want
This
to show
is-
the world like this kind of is like, but I do commend her, because a lot of women out there don't really showcase their sexual side and talk about the partners they have, because it's kind of different with men and women. So if a guy comes out and says, "Oh, I have slept with 10 girls within the last 3 weeks," it'd be way different, or we would receive it different from a girl saying, "I slept with 10 guys in the past 3 weeks," So I commend her for coming out and talking about her sexual side.
And by the way, to have that confidence at 20 years old as a woman, I
Yeah.
mean, she's not a mature.
Oh, she's only 20.
Yeah, she's not a mature person who's gone through life and had experiences. She's only 20.
Right.
And to come out and be able
Yeah.
to do that,
I commend her.
I do too, because I'm like, at 52,
More power to the girls.
at 52, I don't want to know the answers. I'm 52. I'm like, I like to think, yeah, I was fantastic. I don't want to get a survey back like, "You suck." I'm like, I do? Oh my God.
Right. No surveys.
Yeah, I don't want to know surveys. I'm my own head. I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. That's the end of Hub Day, guys. And I want to remind everybody, you can call right now, 1-800-529-5465. Before we get into answering immigration questions, in today's Braducation, I'm going to answer the question, is a green card application still valid if the applicant and their spouse who filed are getting divorced? If your spouse filed for you and you don't have a green card or you don't have a conditional green card, that would generally be the end of the case. You need a valid bona fide marriage. You need to show up to an interview with your spouse in a valid bona fide marriage. Now, if you're ending your relationship and it's because of abuse, either extreme emotional abuse or physical abuse, you can always refile a VAWA application, which is a Violence Against Women's Act application. It could also be violence against the man as well, to adjust your status based on abuse and proving that it was a real marriage. If you already have a 2-year conditional green card and you're going from a 2-year conditional green card to a permanent green card, you ending your marriage and terminating it through divorce is not a problem. You can still prove it's a real marriage, prove you're divorced, and get your permanent green card back. All right, so later in the show, we're going to get into our social media check-in where Yo-Yo and Vanessa will be coming back and asking me your questions in the comment section. And also later in the show, we're going to be talking to partner and personal injury attorney David Levy, who's going to speak to Yo-Yo about a $600,000 settlement that he recently secured for a Spar and Bernstein client. But right now, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of our show, where you got a question, you give me a call, and I'm going to try to answer it. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Samin in Queens. Samin, how are you?
How are you, Brad? Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you. What's going on?
You're welcome. Okay, I have 2 questions, and before we go to the questions, I heard that you already answered it, that for the question of the civic question for the next December,
right?
Right. So whoever applied before that, for example, I applied my citizenship last month, which is 28th of October.
You're going
to go there, or
you're going to get the new one. So anybody who goes for a citizenship interview after December 1st is getting the new test. It's not when you file.
Oh, if they go to after the okay, thank you.
Go for the interview.
And the second question is that I think I asked you before one time, but I'm a little bit still confused, that I did file my tax every year. And for this last year, I did file my tax like as usual I file. But whatever I owe them, so I make the installment, I'm paying them state and the federal, I'm paying an installment.
As long as you're making the payments and you're up to date on your payments, they can't deny you citizenship because you didn't pay your taxes. They could
okay, when the officer and you sit together in front of each other,
yeah.
And the question is, he's going to ask you, are you owe any federal tax or something? What is the best answer?
The answer is yes, and I'm on a payment plan, and I am up to date on my payment plan. And the reason, the reason why that is the right answer is, one, it's the truth, and more importantly, as I was about to say, they cannot deny you because you owe taxes. They can only deny you if you owe taxes and you fail to file a tax return, or you owe taxes and you fail to make arrangements to pay it.
Oh, okay, got you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good. And one more thing, I like the way you give the names to that gentleman, Pumpkin.
Thank you. Well, he's not Pumpkin anymore. He's all gray now, so he's Crybaby.
Yeah, so now I think he should feel a pain, kind of like he used to, since he's in the office, whoever sent him the office, and he's deporting the people, making a mess with the Immigration Act. And now he realized that what is the meaning of the kind of deportation. Now the real power behind this guy deporting him from the office.
That is correct.
And he don't want to go.
He's gonna be a private citizen, and we'll see all the lawsuits and investigations that go
Nobody
against him.
can wait to see him that way.
We'll see. All right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Okay.
Already. God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Let's go to Citizen in the Bronx. Citizen.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine.
Your name is not Citizen.
Yeah.
It is?
Citizen from the Bronx?
That's your name? How do you spell it?
Peterson. P-E-T-R-S-O-N.
Peterson. Okay. I was going to say, there's no way you're a citizen. Peterson. We got it.
Nah, Peterson. Peterson. Peter.
Peterson. Got it.
Yes.
I'm like, citizen. What kind of name is citizen? It's Peterson. All right. Peterson.
Yes.
What's going on, Peterson? That's why you weren't answering. I'm like, citizen. You're like, who's that? I'm not answering.
Yes,
Peterson,
right.
what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, bro. Good. Yeah.
Talk to me. What's your question?
All right. Good evening, folks. Like Joe Biden. Good evening, folks.
What? All right. Tell me
All right,
what your
Mr. Brown. Good evening. I'm fine.
Tell me what your question is.
Yeah, Brad. I really have a situation. What happened? I have a All right. Yeah. What happened? I have my
I'm at the edge of my seat. What happened? It's 2 minutes into this question. I haven't heard one
All right,
sentence out of
sorry.
you. Talk to me. What's happening?
Yes, I have a VAWA file 2018. And at the point that was between the lockdown for the COVID-19, there was a more requirement they asked from me. Yeah, there was a more requirement from me, which I was able to get from Nigeria with my divorce certificate. So the moment it gets here and I found it by, I thought it was beyond the submit period. So I don't know. The case got denied, and I don't know what to do.
All right, let me understand this. You filed a VAWA case. They asked you for more evidence, which was a divorce from Nigeria. You were not able to provide it, and you got denied. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have the divorce now? Peterson, do you have the divorce now, Peterson? All right. We got to talk to him off the air because this is like pulling teeth. But the answer would be to Peterson, let's get the divorce. We got to refile it again quickly before you get put in deportation. Let's go to Kendall in Andover, Minnesota. Kendall.
Yes, hi, Brian. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, bro. I was released on parole, but before I was released, I submitted my asylum application where I was detained. Then finally, I was released on parole. So my case was transferred here in Minnesota. So what I'm asking, how can I do to speed up my case so that the immigration judge can give me an earlier hearing for an individual, because my master hearing is coming up. So what I was asking, I don't know, is it possible for me to just to submit all my evidence?
This is for your asylum case, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, with the courts, if you're not detained, and thank God you're not detained and sitting in immigration jail because it's not very pleasant there. If you're not detained, they're going to be postponing your cases for a while because of coronavirus. And, there's nothing that anyone can do to speed it up. For example, there's no cases at all through December 4th. They have postponed about 6 months of deportation cases. So it hurts people like yourself who have affirmative cases that they want resolved so they can get their green cards. It helps people who are going to get deported and now their deportation's being delayed for, 6 months, a year. Until coronavirus gets under control and the court docket on a regular basis, they're seeing people, I don't think there's a lot you can do to push your case at this point, unfortunately. I mean, you can follow all the mandamus you want, but, a federal judge can't tell an immigration judge you have to sit in your courtroom and get sick with coronavirus. So they've been, postponing all of this, unfortunately.
Yeah, because my master hearing is coming up January 5th.
Okay, so on your master calendar hearing, hopefully you're able to submit your entire asylum application with all your evidence, and the judge will set it down for an individual hearing. That's what you have to hope.
Okay, that means if I already submitted my asylum application when I was detained, so that means if I just submit everything with my evidence the day that
no, what'll happen then is you're just going to set it down for an individual hearing, and the judge is going to say, not on that date, but is going to give you a date in the future. So they're going to say your individual hearing is June 1st, and you have to submit all your evidence by April 1st. And that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, God bless you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go to Christy in San Bernardino, California. Christy. Christy.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you? Yeah, just lower your radio or whatever you're listening to. Not a radio, whatever your television.
Hi, Brad.
Computer.
I'm glad to get you online today.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a first-time caller, though. So I just quickly want to say my concern. I thank you for all you're doing, but I'd like to know, because I am on asylum pending, kind of, and I started an EB3 with a recruiter, which I wasn't able to know who my attorney is. So along the line, the recruiter died like a month plus right now.
Wait. I don't follow you. You filed for asylum, and then you got sponsored in a job as a preacher? Did you say preacher?
Yes.
As a preacher in a church?
No.
What? As a teacher.
No, as a nurse.
As a nurse. I thought I heard teacher or preacher. Okay.
No.
You got sponsored as a nurse. Now, you're an arriving alien? So when
I'm an alien right now.
No. My question to you is, when you entered America, did you file asylum at the airport, or you filed after you came?
I filed it when I entered America.
Okay, perfect. And now you have a nurse application in. What happened with that, with the job sponsorship?
My own fear right now is kind of like, I did it, I started this job earlier this year. So I kind of like 9 months right now, but suddenly I lost my recruiter. So the last
what did you lose?
My recruiter, the recruiter that fights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he died. So good. So right now I'm trying to get in touch with my HR in my office to know who my attorneys are, because he told me he has filed my I-140 here in California, but I don't even know. I don't have any receipt number or lien number. So I'm kind of confused. What am I going to do? Should I stop it or should I continue going? I got in touch with my HR. They gave me one attorney that's the people in charge right now. So I checked. The attorney's name is part of the recruiter's last name. That is kind of like they are family.
I think what you should do is speak to a private attorney. You're going to need representation yourself. Okay, that's where your problem is. Because when you're dealing with a job sponsorship, it's actually, there's two different people that are being represented. An employer and the alien, which is you, who's getting the green card. Now, many times in your situation, the employer's lawyer is representing them and you. But in this particular case, you have no representation. You have no idea what's going on. So you need your own representation. You need a lawyer to contact the employer or the employer's lawyer, who's ever doing it, and figure out what's going on. And if not, then to do what's called the Freedom of Information Act request and get records from
I have done it already.
What? Okay,
I just did it.
Okay, fine. But I think you need a lawyer. I think you need representation because nobody's talking to you. That's what I think you need. And then we'll figure it out from there.
Can I use you as a lawyer while I'm in California?
Yeah. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's go to Mohammed in Jamaica. Mohammed.
Hello, Uncle Bert. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So my question is a little bit long, but I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be small.
Okay, I hope it's not that long.
So I'm asylum seeker. My asylum was granted by the immigration judge 2019 and 2019.
Where you from?
And then I filed for my green card on 2020 June. So my lawyer staff made a couple mistakes during my when I applied for a green card. They made a couple mistakes. The first mistake is when they apply I-485, they apply G325A. They made a mistake, when I work with I work in the United States, but I didn't have work permit when I worked. So I told that already before when I applied for work permit. but they made a mistake when the immigration question was asked, number 16 question. They asked, "Have you ever worked with the in the United States without?"
Let me give you the answer because I get it. All right. So you have some errors on a form.
Yes.
What's going to happen is this. Okay. You're eventually going to get an interview. At the interview, before you sit down, you're going to tell the immigration officer, there are some errors on the form. I want to correct them before the interview starts. I hired somebody and I realized after this was filed that there was errors. And as long as you correct the errors before your interview starts, everything will be fine. And that goes to anybody who files an application and finds an error after the fact.
And then the couple mistakes they made, and then I called my lawyer, and I went to my lawyer, and I told them, my lawyer, that those are missing. So my lawyer, he collect the missing, and then he fixed it, and then he sent with the receipt letter.
That doesn't mean anything, because if you just send random stuff that when immigration doesn't ask, it's not going to make a difference. Okay, it's just compounding the problem. What you do, you don't just randomly send stuff to immigration to correct things. The corrections with immigration happen either because they send you an RFE and they ask you, hey, what the hell is this? This looks wrong. Or you're missing something, and that's a request for evidence. Or if they don't say anything, eventually you're going to get an interview. And at the interview, before you sit down, you say, hey, there's some errors I want to correct on the form.
Yeah, they transfer my case to the NBC in Missouri, like a National Benefit Center, like 3 months ago. On September.
Okay. Again, when you get the interview, you're going to correct it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And if you don't like your lawyer, switch. Hold on. Let's go to Yolanda in Yakima, Washington. Yolanda.
Yeah. Yes. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I have a question. I come to U.S. at 2 years now. Has been filed, and I have 10-year green card. So I was arrested for domestic violence, but the case was dropped, and now my husband got a restraining order, and I got a restraining order too. And I wanted to ask if I can apply for VAWA or not.
But you said you have a 10-year green card.
Yes.
So why do you need to apply for VAWA if you have a 10-year green card?
Because I want to get citizenship, and if you have if you married I married almost in U.S. now 2 years married. Back home, married 2 years, so almost 4 years. And
all right. So now once VAWA is to apply for a green card. You already have a green card, so you can't apply for another green card. So you and your spouse are separated. When did you get your green card?
And I got it in 2 years.
2 years ago? So if you're separated, and I guess you want to do VAWA because so you can become a citizen after 3 years of a green card instead of 5, that's not going to work out. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to wait the 5 years.
Even if domestic violence or
unfortunately, because you didn't get your green card as a VAWA recipient, so therefore. The only way to base your citizenship on 3 years is that you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse, which you're not. So unfortunately, you would have to wait the 5 years, even though it's not your fault and there was violence against you. But unfortunately, that's the way the law's written.
Okay. So another question.
Why do you want to become a citizen so fast? What's the urgency?
Just because I want to have citizenship, but am I in danger of deportation if I was arrested for domestic violence and my husband has restraining order against me?
No, because you told me the charges were dropped. So as long as the charges were dropped, that's not deportation. That's an arrest. That's not a criminal record. A restraining order is not a criminal record. That's just a restraining order from a local family court. So or a local criminal court. But that's not a criminal penalty. So for all of those reasons, you are not deportable. Immigration's not looking for you. Now, you can't file citizenship, even if you wanted to, if you have a restraining order against you. Because if you have a restraining order against you, you can't prove good moral character. So you're going to need to prove 5 years good moral character from the end of the restraining order. So your citizenship, unfortunately, is going to even be delayed beyond the 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so if he's...
So let's say, for example, he has a restraining order against you for 1 year, and that restraining order was done November 1st, 2020. I'm just making it up. I have no idea. And they say restraining order, stay away from him for 1 year. So during this whole full year, November 1st, 2020 to October 31st, 2021, you can't prove good moral character because you have a restraining order against you. So your good moral character would start, no, I'm making up dates, I have no idea. Your good moral character would start November 1st, 2021. And now, because you're basing your citizenship on 5 years of a green card, you wouldn't be able to file your citizenship till 5 years from November 2021, assuming that's the day your restraining order is lifted, so it would be November 26, 2026.
I see. Okay.
Right.
But so I can't. After 3 years, I hear you can.
No, you can't. You can't do your citizenship after 3 years because you're not with your spouse. You can only do your citizenship after 3 years if you and your spouse are still together in a bona fide marriage, or you got your green card based on abuse. You got your green card based on a bona fide marriage, and the abuse that you're describing happened after. And you can't now go back to immigration and say, I got my green card in a bona fide marriage, but now there's abuse. Can you switch my category? Which is basically what you're asking. You can't do that.
Okay, but so 2 years I back home and 2 years in America married. That's 4 years. That doesn't count.
No.
It has only in America three years.
It's what counts as the date from the date you got your green card, not from the date of your marriage.
I see. Okay, thank you.
All right, sorry about that. Let's go to Sam in Sacramento. Sam.
Yeah, hello,
How are you?
Mr. Brad.
How are you?
Hey, good evening, sir. It's nice meeting you. Talking to you again, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I quickly have two questions. One, I'm on a condition. I'm on the verge of removing condition from my green card. I already filed. I got an extension back a few months back. So I want to ask, how long will it take for me to get a fingerprint?
They're probably not going to fingerprint you because they probably already have your fingerprints and biometrics, so you're not going to get a fingerprint. You should.
All right, because I was fingerprint when I came in.
Yeah, you should get an extension. What they're doing is, since coronavirus started, what they're saying is if we already have taken your fingerprint and we have a record of it, they can use your electronic fingerprint that they used previously to do all the background checks. So they're not going to re-fingerprint people because of coronavirus.
All right. That's fair enough. And another one is I have my extension now. And I feel, can I travel to Canada to see family friends?
No.
With the extension that I have?
No, because Canada is not allowing anyone from America to come in. Not because of your immigration status. It's Canada's not allowing people in.
Yeah, okay. Maybe after the whole lockdown has been relieved, can I?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I can use my condition to go there.
And you have that receipt. You have the receipt.
I have the receipt with me.
You take the receipt and your expired green card, and you can travel once Canada lifts the
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a good.
Thank you. Let's go to Nehemiah in Vancouver, Washington. Nehemiah.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What's going on?
This is my first time actually calling you, Brad. A friend of mine in New York told me about you, and I've been watching it offline, and this is my first time in live.
By the way, this is my first time talking to you too, so we're even.
Okay.
All right, what's going on?
I have two questions.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a brother who came from Nigeria a few days ago, and because of the whole protest stuff, and he wants to file in for asylum.
Okay.
And I myself, I just moved not quite long, so I want to get legally married, and so I can file up for my green card. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Okay. All right. So your question is what? Those were two statements. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Yes, he can file for asylum. He has to show he's a member of a group that's being persecuted. He just can't say Nigeria is dangerous now, and because it's dangerous and because there are protests, I want to file for asylum. Asylum is I am a member of a group, whatever that group may be, and I'm being persecuted by somebody in the government or somebody in the government or somebody outside of the government that the government can't control. That's what asylum is. So we would need to speak with him and figure out what it is that he is, what group he's a member of, and who he's being persecuted by. But yes, he can file for asylum, but it has to be done within a year of his entry. As far as you're concerned, you came on a legal visa, you want to marry an American, you're entitled to get married. Make sure you do it after 90 days after your entry. You can get your green card as long as you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse. What is a bona fide marriage? Anybody who watches my show, I say this every week. You live with your spouse, you have a financial relationship with your spouse. That's a bona fide marriage. So the answer is yes on both.
Okay. On my case, what I'm saying is, do I have to do that in after 3 months or before 3 months?
No, do it after 3 months. If you get married in under 3 months, you're risking a denial of your adjustment because they're going to say you lied, you came to get married, you didn't come to visit. After 90 days, that label against you of being a liar is lifted.
Okay. As regard my brother, he actually has a proof and pictures and events. So how long is it going to take if you're filing for asylum?
Well, as a new case, it shouldn't be long, a year or less. It should be a year or less. The old cases are taking a long time. New ones, they're going very fast.
Okay, if he files for asylum, how long is he going to get a green card?
If he wins his case, it's 1 year from the time he wins his case. Whether he wins his case or he has to go to an immigration judge, who knows? If you have to go to an immigration judge, it's going to be several years before he gets his green card.
Come again? I didn't get the last what you said.
When you file for asylum, you go for an asylum interview. If you win your case, congratulations. You won your case, and now 1 year later, you can apply for your green card from the time you win your case. If you don't win your case, they say, get the hell out of America, and they look to put you in deportation. But when you're in deportation, you're not going to get arrested, you're not going to sit in jail. You get a good lawyer, and the lawyer says, wait, I want to refile for asylum again. And you make your claim for asylum before an immigration judge. And then if the immigration judge grants the asylum, then it's a year from that date. But, before an immigration judge could be several years now.
Okay.
But remember, he has to file for asylum there's different dates for everybody. So for marriage, you can't get married until after 90 days. For asylum, you got to file within a year of entry.
A year of entry.
Yes. So if you wait more than a year from the time you came, you're going to have a hard time getting asylum unless you can say something completely changed that I wasn't aware of when I first came here.
Okay. All right.
Hold on if you need help. Let's go to Kay in the Bronx. Kay. Kay. Hi, Kay. Kay. All right, well, somebody get Kay on the phone. Peterson in the Bronx. Peterson. Is this the same Peterson as before?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Brown.
All right, so what is your question now? We got you together. What is your question?
Yeah, sorry, I have a hookup with my phone. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
So I can hear you now.
Good.
What happened during the lockdown? I filed for a vowel since
Right.
2018, and I have my second EAD
Right.
from the EAC category from the vowel. So what happened between the lockdown, February, March, April? All the USCIS was off. There wasn't a section. Immigration office wasn't open, so my lawyer wasn't even opening. So everybody's scared for their life. So what happened during July? Because when I filed, my lawyer configured the mailing address to her office that she's protecting me, that based on abuse, I don't have to be the one receiving the mail. They may have to come to our office. That's okay. Cool. So I used to get my EAD from there like twice. So what happened on the July? I thought there was a resumption, a little bit relief. So I didn't hear anything from my lawyer. He didn't call me. You haven't made something.
What is your question?
Yeah, my question is that when they sent email to me, I didn't know they sent email to my lawyer. They didn't call me.
You got an EAD that was sent to your lawyer and you didn't get it. Is that what you're saying? Your work permit?
Yeah, I got my EAD. They was asking for more evidence.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so you got an RFE, which is a request for evidence that was sent to your lawyer. You didn't know about it, and your lawyer, what did he do with it?
Yes, he didn't tell me anything.
He didn't tell you anything. All right.
About 3 months.
So now the RFEs are usually 60 days, and you get an extra 60 days. So after 3 months, you still had about 30 days. What did you do?
So when I later found out online, I went to my lawyer office immediately to say, hey, they updated my case for more evidence.
Don't tell me. I don't need a blow-by-blow of every sentence you told your lawyer.
Now,
what happened?
They denied the case. Sorry,
they denied
Mr.
it. Okay. They denied the case because you didn't respond. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. So now, unfortunately, your lawyer committed, I guess, malpractice, perhaps, and you got screwed. Do you have, now I understand they were asking for the RFE for a divorce from Nigeria. Do you have that divorce now?
Yeah, that was the requirement before I could get it.
When was it denied?
That was last week, Friday.
Okay. I would make a motion to reopen immediately with the divorce and explain the situation. And hopefully they accept it, and they accept it relatively fast and move your case forward. Your other choice is to refile again, but you don't want to go back and wait 2.5 years. So I would try a motion to reopen first. You have 30 days from the denial. Explain that in your motion to reopen, that's when you give the blow-by-blow. And my lawyer said this, and then I did this, and then I did this. And I said, hey, how come you didn't tell me? The time is up. It's not my fault. It's the lawyer's fault. But here's my divorce. That's when you give the blow-by-blow. When you call Bradshaw Live, just get to the question so I could get help.
All right, thank you.
All right?
So what are my chances? I can come to your office. What's my chances?
If you have a good VAWA case, one way or the other, you're going to ultimately get a green card. Whether it's through the motion to reopen, we have to refile again. Ultimately, one way or the other, you're going to get a green card. Okay?
All right.
All right, so hold on one second. I'm sure you have a good case, so hold on one second, all right? All right. Let's go to Kenneth in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Kenneth. I keep forgetting where I put my water. I'm like, nope, it's over here. What's going on, Kenneth?
Hi, Brad. Can you hear me?
I do. What's going on?
Okay. Actually, I came in here 3 years ago. So I got married to my wife.
Right.
And I'm filing for asylum because I ran away from persecution from my country.
Where you from?
And then later on, my wife filed in I-130 on my behalf.
Okay.
And
where you're from. Yeah.
Hello?
I said, where are you from? You just keep talking.
Yeah. Then after waiting for 2 years,
right,
the I-130 was approved by the immigration.
Good.
Yeah. Then I was still the asylum was still on. Then later on, it was denied and sent to court. So I don't know, and I don't know if I'm going to be deported or because my wife already filing the adjustment of status for me.
You're just doing everything wrong, okay? How did you come to America, and where are you from? Those were two questions I asked.
Yeah, I came on a visitor visa, and that wasn't the first time of me coming to America.
Where are you from?
Cameroon.
Okay. So the answer is this. You and your wife are together? Everything's good?
Yeah, we're together. We live together.
All right. You're not going to get deported. You're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse. You made a legal entry into America. He's just been doing the wrong procedures. Okay? What you needed to have done was withdraw your asylum case before you got put in deportation. They wouldn't have put you in deportation. You withdraw it. That's what should have happened. You withdraw it, say, I have a pending adjustment for marriage. Okay? That's what should have happened, but you didn't do that. So now you're before an immigration judge. When you go before the immigration judge is going to say, Kenneth from Cameroon, you overstayed your visitor's visa. I'm paraphrasing. He's not going to say it just like this, but I'm paraphrasing. You overstayed your visitor's visa. We want to deport you. Before I order you deported, what do you got to say for yourself? And you can say, Judge, I have an asylum case from that I filed, which is pretty good. But I got a bona fide marriage and an approved visa petition, which is excellent, with my wife, who loves me. Can I file my adjustment application before you to get a green card? And the judge will say yes. And you're going to adjust your status before the judge. You will not get deported. But you got to follow the right procedures now. Okay? And if you need help, hold on. Let's try Kay again. Hopefully we got Kay back. Kay. Kay.
Hello.
Hi, Kay. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I hear in the background is your kids going, stop it! Stop it!
I know, right?
All right, what's going on?
I'm good. So I filed I-485 earlier. I think it was August, and the injunction was out. So I filed my paper without the I-944. So now I received a letter that I'm supposed to submit my I-944 about the public charge.
Right.
I really don't think I meet some of the amount of things that they're asking me for. But I just got the paper yesterday. I'm not sure what to do going ahead.
All right, so then I think let's have a consultation. I mean, you don't have to have every last thing. It's a totality of circumstances. And what they do is they add all your positives and all your negatives. So as long as the positives outweigh the negatives, you'll be okay. You don't have to have everything on that form. You're like, oh my God, we don't earn over $64,000 for a family of four. Or, oh my God, maybe my credit's not as good as it should be. But you have other things that offset that. All right?
Okay.
So don't freak out yet. Sometimes you got to freak out, but we're not there yet. Hold on one second, all right? Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Asif in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Asif.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you?
Fine. I want to know about my AR11. I filed I-360.
Yes.
When I moved my address here, I changed. I filed the AR11.
Right.
Almost 8 months. After that, before I received one letter, the immigration says, like, you filed the GR something.
The GR something?
And I didn't file. I sent the R11, but
AR11
I
is
didn't.
to change the address. I don't know what the GR is.
Okay, but is my cash tracker or any letter I received is change my address is a still process or anything?
I didn't understand your question. When you change your address is what? What?
They didn't send me any letter for AR11.
They didn't say that they updated your address?
Yeah, I don't know how to. I check it. They update my address or not.
So you should get something in the mail that they've updated your address. If not, send another AR11.
Oh, okay. I sent 2 times.
So send it 3 times. You should get something in the mail saying your address has been updated.
Oh,
All right?
I didn't get any.
Unless you're filling it out wrong. You can also do it online. All right, hold on one second if you need help. Let's go to Rick in Orlando. Rick.
Hello?
Rick, how are you?
Hello, good night. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Yes, my question is, right, if you have a pending 360,
yes,
I-360, however, you found somebody that you really love and, dating, however, can I withdraw it and...
Yes, but but once you get married, that automatically revokes the I-360. All right. Now, did you file an I-485 with it or no?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you would have to withdraw the I-485 and tell them that you've gotten married, withdraw it, and file a new I-485 with your marriage.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Best
God
luck.
bless.
Let's go to Ibuku in Trenton, New Jersey. Ibuku. Ibuku.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. What's going on?
I have a question. My dad is a green card holder, right? So, I have 2 brothers. So both of them, they get married, then later on they divorce. So now he's thinking of filing for them to see if they can move to the United States.
You have 2. Who do you have? 2 brothers, you said?
Yes.
Okay, where are they?
Nigeria.
They're in Nigeria. And who wants to file for your two brothers?
My dad.
Your dad. And how old are your brothers?
One is 35, the other one is 36.
And are they single? They're married? They're divorced, you said?
Divorced, yeah.
Okay. And these are legitimate divorces because every divorce from Nigeria is really looked at with a microscope. So you got to make sure they're legitimate divorces. Your dad is a resident or a citizen?
He's a resident.
Okay. Yeah. Let him file for them. Don't worry about the ban because they're going to be about a 4 to 5 year wait. There won't be a ban in 5 years from now. Just put the papers in.
5 years?
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Oh, okay.
All right?
All right, thanks.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Let's see where we're at now. As the public charge rule presently stands, oh, wait, before I do that, I got to tell everybody, by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you could always follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. If you follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram, I think my last picture I was at dinner, and the one before that was my Halloween costume. You could like it if you want. You don't have to. It doesn't matter. But most importantly, you could follow me and drop me a DM on Instagram and ask your question, and I will try my best to answer it. Or I'll tell you, we need more information. But if you have not gotten your immigration question answered here, follow me on at Real Brad Bernstein and drop me a DM. You can also follow me at Bradshaw Live, and not just me, but you can follow Yo-Yo and Vanessa and everybody at Bradshaw Live. Get the best 2 minutes of our show. If you did not feel like watching 2 hours, but you can handle 2 minutes of it, follow us on Instagram at Bradshaw Live. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on all social media platforms.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
So, meanwhile, as the public charge rule presently stands, all green card applicants who use the adjustment of status process to apply from within the United States must now submit the I-944 form along with their I-45. In today's Spar and Bernstein close-up, partner and immigration attorney Shannon LaGuerre Maingrette explains what the I-944 form is, and hopefully Kay is still watching.
So this is a new form that came out. It's 18 pages long, very, very detailed. You have to submit documents to basically show that you're able to take care of yourself. So for example, if you are applying for a green card, primarily that's what this is being used for, you need to be able to demonstrate that you are basically self-sufficient or that you have family that can take care of you, so that you're not going to be primarily dependent on public benefits. So there are a lot of questions that are asked. The I-864 does determine whether or not the person who is the petitioner, the person sponsoring you, have the assets, have the financial resource to be able to support you. But now basically they're looking to see, are you the actual applicant, the person requesting the green card? Are you basically, is there a likelihood that you're going to become dependent on public benefits? So they ask you questions, for example, about your credit report. And so keep in mind, there are a lot of people who are here in this country who don't have a credit report. So they're requiring that you show that either, number one, don't have a credit score or don't have a credit report. And if you do, that you need to basically submit that. And a lot of times they're asking you about your educational background because they want to see in the future, will you be able to work? So if you have an education, even if it's from another country, they want you to be able to demonstrate, this is the education that I have, these are certificates. So we've been asking a lot of our clients, submit certificates from what you did back in your country. And if you've done anything here, certainly that can make you employable, make sure you submit that also. They're also asking questions about whether or not you speak English and evidence of that. So some lawyers are basically submitting affidavits where you're indicating as the applicant that I can speak English and I basically swear and attest to that. I've done it basically where I've had people who come from English speaking countries demonstrate, like with their educational background, that they completed school in their country and that they speak English. But these are some of the things that are being taken into consideration because they're weighing, and that's really what's important here with the I-944 and the new public charge rule, is they're weighing what is the likelihood of you being able to be self-sufficient, right? What is the likelihood that you'll be able to support yourself without being primarily dependent on government benefits?
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. There we go. All right, what do we got, Yo-Yo?
All right, first one, show 'em in. Ask, I did an interview in September 2020. Then in October, they mailed me an RFE. If my work permit expires in January 2021, should I renew it or wait to get a response from my I-485 that's still pending my I-130 approval?
No, file the EAD because you don't know when that response is going to happen. So get the renewal.
Anika Campbell on Facebook. My dad is an American citizen. He filed for me a year ago. I am married and live in Canada. I just received a letter from NVC and it says they approved my immigrant visa petition. How long before I can get my green card?
Assuming you're over 21 and single, about 5 more years.
Kimya Mayers on Facebook. I passed the credible fear interview and I'm out on parole awaiting my master hearing for my asylum case. How long do I have to wait before applying for a work permit?
180 days from the time that you file the asylum case. Oh no, it's 1 year now.
Mammy Chloe on Facebook. What happens if I send in your I-75 and months after you get divorced? Oh.
Then you have to convert your case to a waiver of the joint application. You could still complete your I-751, but you got to be able to prove it was a bona fide marriage back in the day. You're now divorced. No one says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage.
SWH on Instagram. If my I-485 was denied and my spouse is abusive and refusing to appeal the case with immigration to keep me captive with him, can I still file for VAWA?
Yes.
Moose Valentine on Instagram. I came to this country when I was 14 years old. My dad is a citizen, but he never married my mom. So immigration said I am not a citizen because I was born out of wedlock. I am 50 now, but I did catch a felony case when I was 25 and spent 18 months in jail. How can I become a U.S. citizen with a felony on my record?
Well, if the felony was before November 1990 and you can show 5 years good moral character, you're still eligible for naturalization. So he's 50 years old and this happened 25 years ago. I don't know, I got to do the math. Maybe it was before 1990, maybe it wasn't. But if it was before 1990, November 1990, then you're fine. I had a guy who had a manslaughter in '87. I remember a few years ago. I made him a citizen. He never thought it would happen to him. He was in jail for like 6-7 years.
Wow.
If it's a felony after 1990, that doesn't mean it's an aggravated felony. We would need to take a look at it. The reason why you're not a citizen is the laws were different pre-2000 than after 2000 in the Child Citizenship Act. In the Child Citizenship Act, for you to gain citizenship through your father, he would either your father needed to divorce your mom and have full custody of you before 18, or your mom had to pass away before 18. So that's why you didn't become a citizen.
Zach Latif Ramin on Instagram. I came from another country and I got married to a permanent resident in the U.S. When I got married to my wife, I still had my visa. But when my wife applied for naturalization, I was out of status. She and her family applied for naturalization in September 2020. Her parents already got their receipt number from USCIS, but she didn't get hers. Could you explain why?
I have no idea why she didn't get a receipt number. Maybe she didn't do the application right. Maybe it got lost in the mail. The first thing you got to do is check to see if immigration received the case, which is, was your check cashed? You paid a filing fee for that naturalization application. Was the check cashed? If the check wasn't cashed and we're now 8-10 weeks later, it's possible immigration never received the application. If the check was cashed, now you know immigration has it, and now you can follow up with immigration and say, hey, where's the receipt for my application?
Okay, Asher Hunt on Instagram. My husband is filing to adjust my status. I did biometrics 2 months ago. I got my work permit and advanced parole, but just a week ago, I received another notice for another biometric. Is that normal for me to do 2 biometrics so close to each other?
Well, maybe they didn't take your fingerprints properly. It's happened sometimes. Go do it.
David O on Facebook. Does the Biden administration have a positive plan for people in deportation proceedings with no criminal record, and will they qualify for a relief?
I have no idea what their positive plan may be. We'll find out.
Vic on Instagram, I was scheduled to face an asylum interview in front of the immigration judge at 26 Federal Plaza at the end of April 2020. Due to COVID, my interview got postponed. I was expecting a date as early as possible, but the judge hit me with a shocking new interview date scheduled for December 2023. I plan to join the U.S. Army. Can you please guide me what I can do to get an early interview date?
There is nothing you can do because they're not doing, it's not an interview date, by the way, it's an individual hearing, so it's a trial, number one. Number two, you can't do anything because they're postponing everybody. I just announced at the top of the show, every deportation case is postponed at least through December 4th. So until coronavirus is over, there's nothing you can do. They're not seeing people. The judges aren't doing it. So once coronavirus is over and they're having a full docket of cases before immigration judges, then you can come in and we can talk about what you can do. Make a motion to recalendar, try to get an earlier date. We'll see how, we'll see. But right now, there's nothing you can do.
Aman Kasira on YouTube. I filed a VAWA case this first week in August. Or the first week in August. I did biometrics in October. When will I receive the EAD C9?
When did she file the adjustment?
First week in August. The VAWA case.
4 to 5 months from the first week in August, whatever that is.
All right.
Kaimani Palmer on YouTube. My boyfriend is a green card holder and he wanted to get married. I am from Jamaica. Can I get a U.S. visa and marry him 90 days after traveling to the U.S.? Will I be able to get an adjustment of status?
Loaded question. Let me break it down. You cannot come here to get married. If you get a visitor's visa to come here to get married, that's misrepresentation. You will be denied. If you get a visitor's visa and you come to visit, and then after 90 days you change your mind and say, hey, let's get married, the answer is yes. You can adjust your status at the present time, and I'll say at the present time and I'll explain in a second. You can adjust your status at the present time, married to a resident, as long as you file your papers while you're still in legal status. Once you are no longer in legal status, you can't adjust anymore. Now, what can you do this in 3, 4, 5 months from now? It depends what the visa waiting list shows. At the moment, the visa waiting list for F2A category is current. We don't know what it will be in 3, 4, 5 months from now. So assuming it's current in 3, 4, 5 months from now, the answer is yes, provided you're not making misrepresentations and coming here for purposes of getting married, but change your mind after, and provided you don't fall out of status. Loaded question.
Lollipopao on YouTube. Does the harassment TRO with stay away orders affect someone with a TPS in California?
No.
Alessia Porter on Facebook. How can I extend my stay in the U.S. on an IB2 visa?
On an IB2, I guess an I visa is for a newspaper, so you would have to have your company extend your application on an I-539.
Ira on YouTube. How do I prove to the embassy that my husband can afford insurance once he gets here? I couldn't buy an insurance plan without his social security number.
He would write a letter and say, I've looked at this insurance and this is the insurance I'm going to get. Or maybe he has a job that provides him insurance and he can get a letter from his job that says when the wife shows up, which is you, they will put you on his insurance as a dependent.
AKA on YouTube, what is the average time for an I-130 spouse of a U.S. citizen to get approved from USCIS?
About a year.
AJ on YouTube, how long does it take for the I-751 process and what's the fee? How long does it take to get an extension letter as well?
The extension will come in 4 to 6 weeks. The fee is $680. It takes about 2 years start to finish. 2 more, guys.
Miss Phillips on YouTube, is there a backlog on those exempted by the presidential proclamation?
Yes, there's a backlog on everybody.
Okay, Real One Kamari, last question on YouTube. I filed for condition of removal last year in December, and I'm 3 years into my marriage and eligible for citizenship. Can I apply for citizenship even if my removal of condition is still pending?
Theoretically, yes, but I'm always against it. But sometimes I say do it. But theoretically, the answer is yes, you can apply for citizenship. To me, it slows everything down. But yeah, go for it if you want. All right. Yo-Yo.
Yes, sir.
Just checking you're there.
I'm here.
Okay. Vanessa.
Present.
Okay. Do you know that David Levy just gave our client $600,000?
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
What would you do?
That Levy.
What would you do if Levy handed you a check for $600,000?
A lot.
A lot. You'd be
a
like,
lot.
I'd be like,
Invest.
I'd be like, Vanessa, how come she hasn't been on the show in a while, right?
I still do the show.
Yeah, you do the
estate.
show
Still do the show.
from a remote island on the beach somewhere.
Exactly. That I would definitely do.
Well, Yo-Yo recently spoke with Spar and Bernstein partner and personal injury attorney David Levy about a recent settlement for over $600,000 he won for a client who was injured at the job. Let's watch.
Hey, Brad Squad, Yonathan Elias here with Spar and Bernstein partner and personal injury attorney David Levy. David is joining me to discuss a recent case in which he was able to win a settlement of over $600,000 for a client who fell on the job and was severely injured. All right, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to be here. Happy to talk to you about this case.
Awesome. So let's get into it. What happened in this case?
So we represented a boiler technician. He was called in to repair a malfunctioning boiler on a residential building in Brooklyn. There's about 24 units in the building, and for whatever reason, their boiler was having issues making loud sounds, failed to provide heat sometimes to the tenants, and he was called in to basically diagnose the issue and to fix what was wrong with it. He was actually an employee for the company that was called in to repair it.
Okay, so what were his injuries?
So what happened was while they were in the process of figuring out the problem with the boiler, these residential boilers, they have what's known as a pit where water is drained from them and the excess water flows into the pit. That water in the pit, which is about 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep, that water is also then pumped out, and generally it's a very, very smooth system where water flows from the boiler into the pit into the pump. While they were draining the boiler, and just keep in mind, this is the coldest day of the year, it's in February, it's about 0 degrees outside, and there's a whole building without heat because they're trying to fix this thing. He's draining out about 1,000 gallons from this boiler, and out of nowhere, the water starts overflowing from this pit. They stop draining it to try to figure out what's going on, and the water starts rising out of the pit and onto the floor. Now, the water, the temperature of that water was anywhere from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was boiling hot. Another thing was that pit, according to the New York City plumbing code, required to have a particular type of cover on it to prevent people from falling into it. This particular pit did not have that cover. So while they were trying to figure out what was going on, why the hole was overflowing with water, he falls into that pit, and with his right foot, the water, which is again about 250 degrees Fahrenheit, goes over his shoes, and he suffered very, very severe burns on that foot, which eventually required him having a skin graft procedure.
So with injuries that severe, did he immediately get medical attention and retain Spar and Bernstein?
Yes. So fortunately for him, he couldn't exactly walk on that foot because of the burns. He took himself to the hospital, and he got the treatment that he needed to get. And then he called us, and then we stepped in at that point in the case. He actually went home first. He went home, and then he took himself to the hospital.
Wait, so you say he took himself to the hospital?
Yeah, he actually, he was there working, and his employer was there as well. And his employer didn't take him to the hospital, and he didn't call the ambulance. He basically picked himself up, whether he hopped on his left foot to his own car and then drove using that left foot, he drove himself to the hospital afterwards.
So who, in this type of case, like who'd you sue on his behalf?
So although there's quite the case to be made against that employer, especially for, failing to even call an ambulance on his behalf, unfortunately, there's something called the workers' compensation laws in New York. And the workers' compensation laws essentially prevent employees from suing their own employers. There's policy considerations, behind that. New York State and other states, they want to promote hiring. And as a result, they make employers immune from being sued by their employees for anything that they do wrong. But fortunately, we were able to sue the building owner because they were the ones by law required to have a cover on that pit. So we were able to bring a lawsuit against them for what we call as the negligent failure to remedy a dangerous or hazardous condition on the property.
Okay. So what do you have to prove in a case like this?
Well, in cases where you're talking about, defective or hazardous conditions on the premises, the owner is they have a non-delegable duty. That means they can't delegate or, point fingers on someone else for what happens on their premises. They have a duty by law to ensure that everything is safe for people to come in, to come out, to work in this case. And we made the argument that they failed to do so. We had an expert submit a report, cite all the violations that they had by failing to have a home. And all we were really required to show is that they were aware of this violation and that they failed to remedy it in time. Fortunately, we did have testimony from the employer himself, who said that on previous occasions he had warned the building that there was a cover required to be on this pit and that they failed to take action. So we were able to show that the building had what we call notice or knowledge that there is a problem here, that there is, potentially this dangerous condition on premises where someone can get hurt, and that they failed to remedy the same. And that failure to do so eventually led to my client falling in and sustaining severe injuries to his foot.
Okay, David, can you go into a little bit more detail about the expert that you hired?
Here at Spar and Bernstein, we hire the best of the best experts wherever they're needed, whether they're medical experts or in this case, we hired an engineer. We hired a professional engineer who actually was able to review the applicable statutes, the laws, the regulations applicable to buildings such as this and to boilers such as this. And he was able to determine in his report, in his investigation, that they violated the New York City plumbing code, that they violated other applicable provisions such as the labor laws by failing to have a cover on this pit. There was a specific type of cover that was required, diamond steel plate cover. There was also, it had to be a load-bearing cover, so it was able to withstand a certain amount of weight. And using that report, we were able to counter many of the defendants' arguments and leverage our position far more favorably.
Please tell me, what is comparative negligence?
So comparative negligence is actually very relevant in cases like this. This is what we label as a trip and fall case or a premises case. Comparative negligence is when the person suing, the plaintiff who we represent, bears some fault or responsibility for the happening of the accident. Now, obviously, our position as being advocates for our client is he did nothing wrong, she did nothing wrong, they did nothing wrong. But, the defendants, obviously, they have to represent their clients. So they're always going to point fingers. Well, your client should have been X, Y, and Z. And then as a result of his failure to do so, he was responsible for his own accident. So in this case, they claimed, among other things, number one, he wasn't wearing the correct shoes. So as a worker trying to repair a boiler, he was required to wear steel toe boots. They claimed, and the hospital records basically corroborate that he was wearing sneakers, which exacerbated, they claimed, his injuries, his burns. The steel toe boots, they say, would have prevented the burns. They also said that, well, you've been on that site before. You've worked on that boiler before. You knew that there was no cover on that hole, and you should have exercised caution in avoiding it.
I need to know what you guys did to counter those.
Yeah, so the main thing that we said is, listen, you guys can point as many fingers as you want, but what you can't dispute is that that pit was required to have a cover. And if that cover is there, we're not here today to discuss this injury. If that cover was there, no matter whether the water was overflowing, no matter the temperature of the water, no matter what shoes he was wearing, he wouldn't have fallen in and the injuries wouldn't have happened. But comparative fault is a very strong tool that defendants have at their disposal. Practically how it works is the judge or the jury, depending on the context, would assign a percentage of fault on the defendant and a percentage of fault on the plaintiff. So the jury might come back and say, well, listen, the defendant should have had a cover, but we still think that the plaintiff should have exercised more caution, knowing that there was a hole there, that it was uncovered. And as a result, we're going to place 60% of the fault on the defendants and 40% of the fault on the client. How does that work? Whenever the jury comes down with a verdict, so let's say the verdict is $1 million, that $1 million verdict will now be reduced by the percentage of fault. So since plaintiff is 40% at fault in this hypothetical, he would get $1 million minus 40%, so minus 400,000, he would walk away with 600,000, representing the fault of the defendant's percentage.
Right, and that's exactly what happened in this case. Was the client actually determined partially liable for the accident?
Well, that was a risk that we would have had to overcome at trial, which, we're always confident that we're going to overcome these issues. Defendants try to make these claims all the time. There was a risk that our client did not want to roll the dice with at trial, and as a result, we were able to negotiate a settlement of over 600,000 pre-trial before we got this issue in front of a jury.
All right. So how is your client doing now? Is he able to work?
He's working, but he's working on lighter duty. So instead of doing all the heavy lifting tasks, he's pushing paperwork now. He's still getting paid. He didn't really lose any income. So there wasn't a claim to be made for any loss of income. It was just the pain and suffering that we had to deal with and the issue of any comparative fault, if any.
All right. Well, any last words that you want to talk about with the case?
I just want to say that, we handle all types of cases, from car accidents, for premises cases, for trip and falls, for slip and falls, anything under the sun when somebody is injured. And if there's fault to be had on anyone, us here, the attorneys at Spar and Bernstein, we're going to find someone to hold responsible, and we're going to ensure that our clients, no matter the injuries, no matter the case, are going to get fully compensated for any wrongs done against them. And we're happy to report that on this case, we were able to get him a very nice settlement of over 600,000.
Amazing work as always, David. Your client was definitely lucky to have you and the team, the Spar and Bernstein team, fighting for him. So everybody, to get in touch with David or any of the other talented attorneys here at Spar and Bernstein, make sure you call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465.
All right, and prior successful results obviously don't guarantee a similar outcome, but we're going to try to answer 9 immigration questions in 50 seconds. And if we're able to do it, some balloons will fall on my head. But if we're not able to do it, there is some dynamite somewhere under my desk. And poor old Uncle Brad will get blown up again.
We want the
balloons.
balloon.
We will do it. It's our first speed round back, so let's go, Yo-Yo.
You know who wants the balloons?
We want the balloons.
Poor Uncle Brad is tired of getting blown up. Let's get some balloons, all right?
All right.
Poor me.
All right.
Every day I go home bruised. Bruised.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Bucko.
Bucko!
Bucko.
Bucko! You heard it from here, Bucko! You heard it right here, Bucko! All right, Bucko in the back behind this wall. Put 50 seconds. Ready, let's go.
Started perm process. Will the new higher wage rule affect me?
Yes.
Are K-1 visa holders part of the immigration ban?
No.
Can I get a job while waiting for my social security card?
Yeah, if you're legal to work.
My father's visa expired because of the lockdown. Can I renew it so he can travel to the U.S.?
If you can try, absolutely.
If I get a job offer from a company in the U.S., what visa do I apply for?
It depends
TN,
what you're,
EB3?
I don't know what you're qualified for.
TN, EB3, or H-1B?
It depends what you're qualified for. Next.
Oh, no. Can you change the location of your visa interview?
To a third country, but you got to request it at the U.S. Embassy.
Can someone divorce right before their interview and still get a green card?
It depends who's sponsoring you.
Can I open an LLC business from an F1 visa?
No.
I have a DACA. Can I get a work extension and status approved?
No, just answer it.
Oh! All right, I'm back.
Come on.
Right. What was the last question?
I have DACA. Can I get a work extension and my status approved?
Yes. Yes, you can. And Yo-Yo, repeating the same question twice. I don't want to point you out.
No, they need to take out all the extra stuff then. That ain't my fault. It's what's on the paper.
Just go.
Go. Just go with
my
it.
fault.
Just go with it.
Hey.
I answered the question, and then Yo-Yo goes, but I have some more information. I'm like, damn it, man, we only got 50 seconds here.
Because it gave 3 options. It gave 3 options. If they didn't need the options, it shouldn't have been there.
Just forget the options. All right.
Go ahead. We don't shoot the messenger.
Comments of the day.
Right.
Comments of the day. By the way, I just have an extra comment of the day here. Jessica Levy says you're all dressed for that burial, dressed in black. Well, all of you.
Right.
So let's all wear white tomorrow.
Yes,
let's all wear white.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
All right, y'all. Our first comment of the day comes from Miloslav Minkov saying, "Welcome back, Brad Squad. Finally back in the studio. Let's start this amazing show and get those immigration questions answered."
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Our next comment of the day comes from Chris Albina. Wahoo, so glad to join your show live for the first time. Ooh, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome, Chris. I hope you enjoyed it.
Congratulations.
I hope you
welcome,
enjoyed it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Our third comment of the day comes from our fave, Don Harriet, saying, "I just love schmoozing with Brad. I learned so much."
Oh, thank you very much.
True.
Thank you very
Same
much.
here.
Yeah. I actually learned
Okay,
too because I like hearing I like hearing your guys' opinions too. Because I'm like, sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
never thought of
Fun.
it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our last comment of the day comes from Igio Wawawi Talawalase. Watching your program makes me happy and gives me hope. Love you guys.
That's very nice. Are you
Good
sure,
job.
you pronounced her name right or his name right?
How would you have read that, Yo-Yo?
Let me see it again. Let's see.
A-O-U. I'm telling you, I
think you
killed
did
it.
great. I think you did great.
Iwawi Tolawalasi. I guess it's as good as we can do it.
Ayuwawi Toluwalaste.
All right.
Tolawalase.
Yeah, it sounds almost like Hey You Yo-Yo Vanessa.
There you go.
A little bit.
There you go.
All right. So, hey you out there. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me? Successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465. doing?